Hey guys, it's me, Darcy, joined as ever by Kris.
Hello.
And do not worry, he is a safe distance from the computer, so he cannot lick and destroy the audio this time. You're an animal. And welcome to this week's. Kris, I've just played.
Yeah, I don't know what you.
This week's episode of the Unnamed Podcast, where we sit here for roughly an hour and talk rubbish.
Yep.
I'm not feeling great because I had an accident with a bottle of lemon drink that has now just decided to put all of its carbon gas into my stomach, and I feel like crap right now.
And I missed it because I would have laughed if I hadn't seen it.
It wasn't good, and then I kind of compounded the issue by drinking 600 mils of chocolate milk pretty much right after that happened.
It's dumb move.
So everything's coming up crap.
Yep.
But yeah, channel news for the week.
Yeah.
We got 2 new subscribers.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I put out the bad audio videos that you licked. That's
That's
done.
going to be the joke every time we have bad audio.
Every time the audio's bad, it's because you fucking licked it.
Yeah, if this manages to get somewhere, we're gonna have more people, and they're gonna be like, "What? Did he actually lick it?"
Yes.
It's gonna be me saying no. And you
He
saying
undid
yes.
the thumb screws of my computer and just started licking the audio files. Yep. No, but what's happened in the week? It's been a more it's I don't know where I was going with that. It's been a more eventful week than last week.
Okay, yeah, I suppose.
The highlight of my week so far isn't a burger.
Oh.
So that's always better.
Yes, it's a lot better.
When yesterday's lunch is the highlight of your week.
Shit.
Yeah, no. Either a very boring week or a very dull week or a very bad week.
Depends on how good the burger was.
I finished watching Clarkson's Farm. That was
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
So I added another TV show to the 6 TV shows that I watch.
Much fun on that.
Then I started watching Top Gear again.
Again,
From season 2.
and that's like what, the 4th time in
This
the
year.
last few months.
this year. I started watching Top Gear again.
Yeah,
That's happened. I played some F1 the other day. That was fun.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I was playing that and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it into the driver's view.
Oh.
Because I usually have it on the view that's just slightly above the driver's view. So
Yeah.
you can see a little bit more of the car. But I was like, I'll go in the driver's view and see what it's like to drive around a track at 300 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Except I didn't realize, do you know how the F1 cars have the halo around them to protect the driver from rolls? Yeah, well, apparently it comes and just has a big beam directly in front of the driver. So I'm driving along the course, right, and I'm like, oh god, I can't see the corner that I'm supposed to take here because there's this giant fuck you beam right in the middle of my vision.
I very much imagine it'd be very different if you were actually driving.
Probably.
But when you're at a screen, sitting back, and it's over there. No.
I also feel because when I was driving, I was like, oh, this is going to take some getting used to because you
It always does.
don't have the same view.
It used to be the only way that I actually drove in racing games was from the driver view. It annoyed the shit out of people.
It's my preferred driving method in racing games. But yeah, I was like, this is going to get some getting used to because in the slightly above, the TV pod, I think is what they call it, where it's kind of up on top of the air intake that's behind the driver.
Yeah.
You can see the car, the road ahead, the wheels. When you're in the driver's seat, you can see this big beam, the post, the wheels are about there, and then you've got this strip of that's everything else. It's you're trying to drive off that and you're like, shit, corner. brake. And you're like, okay, that went well.
Very.
But yeah, so I've been doing that. That's been fun. I was going to play The Sims, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
Mainly because every 3 months, I go, like, I'm going to play The Sims.
And then you don't?
No, I do.
Oh.
But my whole, like, thing of playing The Sims is, like, I jump in, I build a house, spend ages, like, building houses because that's the part of the game that interests me.
Yeah.
And then go...
And I'm done.
Done. So then I built, like, I spent ages building these houses that then no one ever uses. It's kind of funny. But yeah, because I'm like...
You know, I reckon there's games solely based on that.
Building houses.
Yeah. Probably is. And very much imagine there would be.
I assume House Flipper is, like, what you're talking about?
No.
But House Flipper doesn't really let you...
No, you can't really build. You still...
Like
you got your foundation there and your outer walls.
Within the envelope of the building. No.
Well, I meant like an actual game where it's...
Oh, there probably
house.
It probably is, but like I just use The Sims because I'm like I built it in The Sims and then fucking like I'll come back and be like, oh yeah, I put my sim in the house. Don't build a new house. It's like, you know, you try and build them off, like, especially with The Sims 4. The Sims 4 is like really good at it because it's like got all the different environments.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So yeah, so it's like, oh, I'm building a house for a winter environment, a beach environment, a bog standard environment. I guess that's what you call normal environments.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It's only got 3 environments. Nah, it's got like desert and stuff, but yeah, no, because my whole thing is like I really enjoy designing houses. I'm like, build the house, and I'm just like, done.
Nice.
That was 2 days well spent. And then I'll spend 3 months not playing and be like, build another house. Yeah. Back to The Sims. I re-downloaded Hitman. And it works now.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So there's good news on that front. We can do that now.
Yes.
We filmed half an hour this week of us trying to get Hitman to work. It did not go well. It was just nothing. The conversation was pretty stupid though, so we saved it for that reason only.
Yes.
What else did we do? We chatted to Jordan about the snow trip.
We did indeed.
So now everyone has the date, which is a good starting point.
Yes.
And a rough estimate on the cost. Another good starting point. Yes. Except for some reason my maths was off the first time I did it.
Yeah, I don't
And I was like sitting there, I'm like, yes, it'll cost us about 12,000 for the 4 of us. Yes, if we each pay 5... Wait, what?
No.
If we each pay 4,500, we have... what?
It's no.
So I had to redo my maths. Like, I can't even understand how my phone could pump out that answer that it pumped out. Because, like, maybe it's because I didn't put in the right values in something. But I was like, no, my values were pretty good. Like, maybe it's because, like, there is no way I could figure out how it came up with the number it came up with.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, 19,000 would be a nice number to go with between us all. It's guaranteed we've covered everything.
Everything is covered.
Yeah. It's not going to happen, though. On a technicality, it could, Jordan.
Oh, fuck, it was bad.
Or Nick, when he gives us...
2 million.
Yes.
For ghost hunting.
We're waiting for it.
Okay. All I'm saying is if you want me and Nick... No. You can come if you put 2 million in, Nick.
Yes.
If you want me and Kris out there ghost hunting, Nick, we're going to need some cash to do it. Mainly because...
Any money that comes from anyone else other than Nick doesn't go to ghost hunting.
4, 5. Like 12 cameras around my head so that I can see every angle.
Yeah. That's fair. But as I said, any money
that way when someone's like,
anyone else,
I saw a ghost, I'll be like, I have footage. It wasn't a ghost. When someone says, I saw a pedophile, it's like, yes, you did.
You did.
But don't worry. I'm a man. I'm a grown-ass man.
It's like, is there a pedophile thing? Well, you did. We don't have to worry then. We're not kids.
I am not a child.
Yeah. So we're safe.
It'd be a really odd place for one of those inclined people to hang around.
Haunted places?
A graveyard.
That's a different thing. Yeah, that's just a different thing.
No, what else is new? There's a hole in my shirt, apparently.
There is. I'm pretty sure it was there last time.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Yeah.
It's bigger than it looked.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think there is anything else new.
I'm trying to think of what games I've been playing. I've been playing a bit of Hogwarts.
A bit of Uno.
No. I've been playing... So I've been playing Hogwarts. I've been playing NBA.
Yes. Neither that done.
I don't think I've played any Call of Duty this week, which is probably bad for my season pass progress.
Oh, yeah. I haven't either. But I don't have the season pass, so I don't have to worry about the progress.
I forgot to play Halo. My 30 days hasn't gone,
Oh.
but I still needed 30 levels in 30 days. So now I'm probably down to like 10 days for 30 levels. It's not undoable.
It's still rough.
It just requires playing.
A lot. Most of the 10 days.
Probably not even that much. I just have to do all the challenges. Because that's the real only way to make your experience fast. No, but again, Halo, I'm pretty sure the way it works is that I can just select which season pass I want to work on.
Okay.
I think. I could be wrong. I've never not met a season pass, but I'm also not overly fussed about this one because I put no money in on it.
Fair.
Everything was just free.
Well,
So-
that's a plus.
Yeah, I think that's like the only fair way to do a season pass that's timed exclusive. Is that right? Is it timed exclusive?
Yeah.
If you can only work on it for so long.
I would say it's time exclusive.
Yeah, I really don't like ones where it's like you pay for it and then it's like you've paid for the opportunity to start working towards these things. It's like, no, I paid, I get them. Or I work towards them, I don't have to pay.
Especially if you pay it and then
Not
something
both.
happens and you can't play it at all.
I just hate it.
That
I
would
just
become
hate the
worse.
system. I hate the way that they go like, oh, you can pay us for the privilege to spend a lot of time playing the game to
I hate it.
to then unlock stuff so that, and I'm just like, oh, that's so, it feels dirty.
Just because it is.
Yeah, it feels dirty. Like, it's just, I'm just like, if you're going to make us pay, it should be free. Like, you get it all. Okay? That's it.
Or get up to a certain point.
I don't even like that, because it's like,
Well, because I know a lot of
The
there
best-
are
the
some
best
season
stuff is
passes
always-
that, like, it'll when you buy the season pass, it shows you up to a certain point. There's more after it, but getting to it's the harder part.
nah, see, I don't like that.
Because like I know Overwatch does it. Like it shows you up to 60-ish, I think, and then once it gets to that, I can't remember the exact number, but let's just say it's 60. Once you get to 60 and then you go further on, it's just, I think it's not like everything they normally give. I think they start giving those coins.
No, I just,
Could be wrong. I've never made it to that point.
I'm a hardcore believer in it's really scummy practice to be like, give us money for the opportunity to win, because that seems like gambling to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
And they go, no, because you know what your outcome's going to be. And I'm like, so you know what you're getting with gambling too. It's a little thing called money.
Yeah.
Whereas like loot boxes, which was 100% gambling, was like, oh yeah, you pay the money and then you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like the scummiest thing you could do. However, I think I hate battle passes. Like, call me old fashioned, but I hated DLC. But at least it was,
You paid for what you got.
you paid whatever the fucking cost would be. There's an ambulance.
It's close.
It's probably right there. That house always has an ambulance at it.
Yeah, it sounds right. Maybe they're just doing a test.
Maybe they're just dicks.
Maybe they know what we're doing. They're just out front waiting.
No, but like DLC, like I know people had their problems with it because it was so expensive, and they're like season passes are like $15, where DLC used to be $75, and it's like,
DLC
how many
added
15s
more
are?
to it.
Huh?
A lot of DLC added more to a game than
True.
anything else.
But
Yeah.
like, okay, so
Season
now you get
passes.
like free maps, right?
Yeah.
Because of season passes, whereas before you had to pay for the map packs and shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But okay, here's my thing: $75 will get you the complete season.
Yeah.
I'm gonna burp eventually. We'll get you the complete season pass. $75. So you drop $75. Here's a season pass. Pack 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. All the packs that we do. Right?
Yeah.
Now it's like pay $15 every 3 months. Or every 2 months. You know? And it's like, how many seasons are in a year? It's like, oh, there's like 4 or 5. What's 4 or 5 15s? I'll give you a hint. 4 is 60. 5 is 75.
Yeah.
So you're paying same price over the year that you would for all the DLC, but unlike with the DLC, you're not getting all the stuff. You are literally paying the same amount of money for the opportunity to unlock the stuff. And if you miss out on it, you miss out on it. You can't have it. It's like, oh, you may have paid for it, but you didn't work hard enough during the time. So you are literally paying for a job.
Yeah.
You are working a job and they are not paying you. You are paying them for the privilege. That is why I hate battle passes. I think
that makes sense.
I think they're super scummy.
I don't like them either. Like, if I get through, like, let's just say if I was to do the Call of Duty one, I ended up completing the whole thing, I'd be like, yes.
I completed several of them.
I haven't yet, but then
It
again, I don't
sucks.
play as much. But if I do complete the whole thing, that's the point where I think I would actually go through and buy it.
Oh, it's
Because I then had everything. Otherwise, like, the last one, I only got like 5 or 6 of the.
I just feel like it's
At the
such.
moment, I think I only got 3.
I just feel like it's such bad faith trading. Like
It is.
It's literally being like, give us money so that you have the opportunity, and people go like, yeah, but it's just cosmetics and stuff. You don't need to unlock it. And it's like, fair, but you can do the same thing. Like, it's not fucking hard to simply add a thing where it's like, hey, you bought the battle pass. That was weird.
Is that a door randomly open?
No, it's a little dog scratching on a door. You bought the battle pass, so now you can unlock it whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking for. Like, once you've dropped the money, you have the ability to earn the stuff whenever you can.
And that would be
And
better.
that to me, that
I'd
seems
be okay
fair.
with it at that point.
Because then it's like, okay, what you're actually paying for. You're paying for the stuff, but you've still got to unlock it. So there's that thing of progression, right? Because we want progression.
Yeah.
But to be like, no, you got to pay for it, and then if you don't make it, it's all gone. That's where I go, that's scummy.
Yeah, I mean, the only advantage to it now is when they add the new maps in, and you don't have to pay for them, makes it a bit better that you get to try it out. And if it's shit, you just don't play. It's simple as. On the downside to DLC, it's like super high, but you get it, and then it's like, oh, this was not worth it. That was the only downside to DLC. Otherwise, I didn't mind it.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't know. Using Call of Duty as my example, I'm like, new maps.
Oh yeah,
They're just remakes of old maps.
Yeah.
I don't think Call of Duty has a lot of groundbreaking thinkers there. And where the fuck is my new Ghost skin? Seriously. He's the only operator worth having. Actually, no. Soap and Price and Pharaoh. Where are their new skins as well?
it's the only other reason why I'm thinking about buying it on my laptop, because I can't use them on the Xbox either, which is annoying because technically that edition is installed on the Xbox.
Yeah, I find that weird that you can't use them. I think maybe just uninstall and reinstall that pack.
Yeah, I'd have to try that, see if it works, but Otherwise, it's eerie. But then again, it hasn't worked when I played here.
Yes, but here is not your home Xbox.
I technically don't have a home Xbox.
Yes, but you also don't own it here. Like, I don't own it here. Or technically, I do own it. And I can play it here because here is where I'm logged. I own it wherever the fuck I'm logged in.
Yes.
You only own it on your Xbox.
Yes.
So that's the long, complicated way of saying what I was saying. As I said, I don't like it. I get games use it as a sense of progression, but once you've asked us to drop money on it, you should not be able to take away the rewards because we've already fucking paid for it.
Yeah.
And say like, oh yeah, but you didn't work hard enough to get them, so you can't have them.
It's like, oh yeah,
bitch, I paid.
It's like, oh, but we had to pay people to design them, and it's like, yeah, no, that's well and truly paid for. But everyone who pays for the Battle Pass.
And not even that, right? Because here's the other thing. They go, oh, but we need you to pay for the Battle Pass. We need you to pay for the Battle Pass because everyone's got it for free. Okay, you made Warzone free.
Yes. Good
for you. You didn't do that out of benevolence, though. You did that out of the fact that you went, we make it free and we do what Fortnite does and make them pay for everything.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with us.
And,
especially people who actually bought the game because they want the game.
And
don't be like, oh yeah, but Warzone's free. Yes, but I dropped $160 on the fucking game. So I don't give a fuck if Warzone's free. I've already fucking paid for the game.
And it's like, because I don't play a lot of CODs, you don't underestimate me when I say I'm probably never going to buy the Battle Pass.
Yep. But yeah, every game's just moved to Battle Pass and people are like, oh yeah, Battle Pass are pretty good. And it's like, no, they're so much worse than the DLC was. Because the DLC also gave you one other option, which was, I just won't buy it. I'm not impressed by what I'm seeing in this DLC. I won't buy it. And people go, oh, you can do the same for the Battle Pass. And it's like, yes, but unlike the DLC, the Battle Pass, they're always sitting there going, check out the Battle Pass. You've unlocked some shit for the Battle Pass. Drop some money so you can get it. Like they're literally doing that all the fucking time. Think about when you're playing it.
Every time I open it up, is it Battle Pass? Battle Pass. Battle Pass.
At the end of every game, Battle Pass, Battle Pass, Battle Pass.
Yeah, it's like, you get over here, help it. Open up this fucking door. I'll shove it.
Pretty much. So yeah, that's just what I feel like. That's my feeling about Battle Pass. I think they're really, I really think they are not as bad as loot boxes, but much worse than DLC. And you're not saving any money. You're just not getting everything you paid for.
At least with the loot boxes, I knew I was gambling.
Oh, loot boxes were scummy as fuck.
Oh, don't get me wrong. They were. They 100% were.
Especially loot boxes that were like, oh, you want to unlock this? You can go buy key.
Deep Fortress 2.
I will fucking end you.
I did actually spend money on that.
For hats.
I know, I got guns.
Oh.
Because you could actually get weapons out of it.
But mostly hats.
So I had a ship's wheel and a sword for my demo.
But mostly hats.
Yeah, that's why it's called Okay, that's why it's called Hat Simulator.
Yes. I know that sounds. I know that sounds hypocritical coming from the man wearing a hat, but still.
Fair. I mean, technically, your hat serves a purpose. In the game, it didn't. You were just wearing a hat.
What purpose is my hat serving?
At the moment, none. When you're outside on the technicality, stopping the sun from getting on the back of your neck.
Yes, it is.
So it serves a purpose.
Fuck. So I was driving home tonight, me working late at night out at the beach and having to drive home as the lights go out. And you know how I hate SUVs because they're a rubbish car?
We've discussed it, yes.
To it, at length.
On Saturday, to be more precise.
I talk about it all the time. I really hate SUVs because they are actually...
Scratch that, it was Sunday.
They are actually rubbish cars that they're literally a sedan that's tall. They're a tall sedan.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the appeal to them.
Look, there is appeal to them.
Yeah.
But it comes at a lot of costs because they're not really designed. Everything they're built on isn't designed to be a tall car.
Yeah.
But so I'm driving home, right? And because everyone seems to buy them these days,
especially here.
Because, you know, but it's a sporty utility vehicle. It's not sporty. Its utility's pretty rubbish. But whatever. It is a vehicle.
I mean,
they're not sporty.
Space to actually put no.
And they do not have the utility of the cars that you are supposed to be replacing them with.
Okay, fair.
They do not have the boot space of a ute. They do not have the off-roading ability of a big off-roader.
Right.
What is their utility?
Just gives you more space.
Okay, here's my point with SUVs. And if you disagree with me, seriously do some research. They are literally just a tall sedan. Okay, are they easy to get into? Yes. Do they have more boot space? Sometimes.
Yeah, some of them.
Because sometimes the boot's only this wide and this high. That's not a lot of boot space. You put that down, you've got...
All the space is given to the seats in front.
So, yeah, I don't think they're sporty. I don't think they have much utility.
Who said they were sporty?
That's what SUV stands for. Sports Utility Vehicle.
Oh, fuck, it does too.
That's what an SUV is. It's a sports utility vehicle.
I mean, the only way I could say that is it's the whole soccer mum thing. Carrying the sports gear. That's about it. It's as sporty as it gets.
Yeah, so there's so many fucking ones. There's so many driving around. And because they're slightly taller than a sedan,
yep,
their fucking headlights are always directly in a sedan's eye line.
Oh, they are.
And it is the worst thing ever because, you know, high beams...
so they're not always directly in your eye line?
Pretty often.
Four-wheel drives are.
Four-wheel drives are the worst.
And in this fucking region, they always put, we're going to put some spotties on it. And the moment lights go on, so do the fucking spotties. And you're an arse.
But I'm driving along,
That's
right?
why it's like you're driving along and you think, dude, turn your high beams off, turn your high beams off. And then they get past you. And then they turn their high beams on, and it's like, oh, you're just a prick.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, so that's what's been happening a lot lately. I'm like driving along, I'm like, this fucker's got his high beams on. He's dazzling me. I can't see shit, right?
And it turns out it's just.
And it's like, no, I'm just driving my SUV with my normal lights on, and I'm like, that SUV should be fucking illegal on these roads because its normal beams are shining directly into the eyes of someone coming across.
Because if I've got a four-wheel drive car with the spotties, because I've got to squint while driving because I'm like, fuck, I can't even look away because I've got to watch the road. It is night time. I need to be able to see where the fuck I'm going. But I can't because the spotlights. And then you realise, and because they are just as bright as your high beams, when they get past you and they actually turn their high beams on, it's like, oh, you're a dick. You're an absolute dick.
That is probably the one thing I'm looking forward to, being in a people mover when we go down to the snow.
It's not going to be as bad.
We'll be high up.
Yeah, that is true.
We'll be higher up.
Even sedans, like if they're right behind you, they can still hit you in the fucking face. It's like every time a cop pulls up behind you, at night time, I refuse to move first. Absolutely refuse to. Because I can't fucking see because their lights, rearview mirror, straight into my fucking eyes, and I'm like, they literally sit there and wait, and I'm like, I can't fucking see past you. Because those lights are hitting me directly in the eyes. I can't see shit.
Oh, that was like, tonight I had a fucking Hilux or something driving behind me on the road from Yeppoon to Rockhampton, which, if you've ever driven it, is a bumpy shit road.
It is.
Every bump it hits, it's straight into my fucking mirrors, dazzling me. And I'm just going, motherfucker.
I like being able to get the fuck away from everyone. Except that's the issue here. Everybody here thinks, no, it's a 100 zone, but you've got to do 120.
Everyone here goes, it's a 100 zone unless I've been doing 100 with a little asterisk next to it. And I've had cars pull away.
When I go to the notes, what's the asterisk mean?
I've had cars pull away from me, and I'm going, okay, well, I know that I'm doing 100 asterisks.
I just realised how loose this show is.
It's like, so I know I'm doing 100 asterisks, and you are pulling away from me. And you know how, like, if you're doing 100 and they're doing 90, you're pulling away from them slowly. Like,
yeah.
After about 100 meters, you might be a car length, maybe 2 car lengths ahead of them.
Yeah.
After 10 meters, when they are 3 to 4 car lengths ahead of you and still pulling away, and you're doing 100 asterisks, you go, so what are you doing? Because you've got to be over 140.
Well, when I'm doing 100...
To have that kind of speed, you've got to be, right, you know that big corner on the where it's 2 lanes and there's a big corner, and then you come down the hill and then come up, and then the other big corner, and you're in Rocky. Like you're at the traffic lights. Yeah. It's like right near the end. When you overtake me on that corner, and by the time I've finished the corner, you're up the hill, and I'm doing 100 asterisks.
When I'm doing 100 asterisks, let's add 2 of those. When I'm doing that and you're pulling away from me, one, you're probably trying to fucking show off because you've realised what you've actually just driven past, and you're like, oh, I've got to show off. But you're not showing off.
No,
if I wanted to, you'd never catch up to me.
You're being an idiot. As I said, that road, right? Road limits are a thing, surprisingly. No. However, they're very rarely ever what the actual limit on that road should be.
Yes.
However, that road I do say has a limit.
Yes, that one does.
130. You do not want to be going at more than 130 because that road is so uneven.
Yeah, no, I agree. I can agree with that one.
And I have literally, as I said, I drove a truck along there once. 100 in a truck.
I mean, where they've just done the roadworks, it's not as bad.
It's really grippy there and slows you down a lot. Like right in front of that petrol station, you'll have your foot down and be sitting at 100, like 100, proper 100. No asterisks there. Yeah. And when you hit that piece right in front of, like, just before the petrol station and towards past the petrol station, without ever changing your foot, your speed will drop by about 20k. Because that part of road, if for some reason, is just super sticky.
I've never noticed it, but then that's generally the point where I've got my cruise control set for 100 asterisks. So it just does it.
Okay, so you know there's the corner right before when you're on your way out to the beach. Mm-hmm. The turning lanes, the overtaking lane disappears. Yeah. That corner there, and it's like that's an 80 corner, but you're like, no, this is a corner.
It is.
This isn't even a corner. It's a fucking bend in the road.
It is.
And so I generally come out of there, let's say somewhere between 100 and faster. Because the crazy thing about a bend in the road is as you're going around, if you actually put your foot down...
Isn't that then just a recommended speed limit?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
There's recommended speed limits on all the bends in that road. And they're all like 80, 80, 80. There's only one on my road drive from here to Emu Park. There is only one corner where I take it at its recommended speed-ish. And that is the one at Kawarl where it's like... the bend, and it's like drop down to 60 from 100 for this bend, and I'm like, I drop down to about 70.
Yeah.
Because it's not that bad. But it's like on one side is a mountain, and on the other side is a ditch into a river. And it's like, yeah, you have no ever room there. And it's a 90, it is a corner. It is a 90-degree corner.
Yes.
So it's like, that is the only one where I'm like, yes, your recommendation to slow down is good. Every other one where it's like, hey, do 80 on this, and it's like, it's just a long, swooping curve. You're like, no.
I will do that, and I don't do it, but I'm going to say it this way, it's like, it's recommended at 80, cool, I'll do it at 150. I've never done it at 150, but I could easily do it at 150. Yes, because you shouldn't
drive that road at 150.
No, fuck no.
As I said, I was in the truck, driving on that road, doing 100, hit one of the bumps, and I lost all steering, and the bump was throwing me off the road. Fortunately, my truck was heavy, and it came back down pretty quick, and I went, fuck, but the bumps on that road will throw you off it.
I'm aware.
And most of them happen on corners.
Unfortunately, it's in the centre fucking lane, it's worse.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're going to overtake, it's the worst.
But
Absolutely.
that's why I'm like, that road has a limit, and that limit is like 130. If you drive faster than 130 on there, you are asking to have an accident.
Yeah.
And I've fucking been driving on that road because I drive.
The only area that you could is on the newer road.
I drive on that road at least 5 days a week, and I have seen accident after accident after accident.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw a car accident, a fatal one, on the road about a month ago, because there's now a cross on the tree where the ute was smashed into.
Oh shit.
And I'm just like, and miner's hat hanging there. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure the miner who crashed his ute into that died.
Yeah.
And it's because that road is fucking lethal.
Oh, of course.
All roads in Queensland are lethal because
They don't fucking maintain them properly.
for some reason Queensland think that, okay, so you're going to be travelling at 100 on this road, right? We're going to give you a shoulder. It is going to be 5 centimetres. And then after that 5 centimetres of tarmac that we've given you as a safety thing, just in case something goes wrong, you slip, you lose power, a fucking kangaroo smashes into you, maybe another car pulls out in front of you, you know, all of these things that could go wrong on the road, we've given you 5 centimetres for it, but then we're going to put a fucking 3-foot ditch. Why do so many people die in Queensland? Because there's no fucking error room. And they ain't great drivers to begin with.
No.
Until I moved to Rockhampton, I'd never seen anyone go, I want to be in that lane, so I'm going to indicate and pull. And the car next to them goes, oh fuck, he's coming into the side of me.
Yeah.
Because they don't look. They just go, once I've indicated, I'm allowed to go. And it's like, no, but
no. See, my thing is I indicate, and then I'm like, cool, I'm slightly ahead of them, but I need to be further ahead, so I just give it a little more.
But,
so the asterisk comes into it.
As I said, I fucking just, driving on that road is dangerous, and driving fast on that road is like, I'm not gonna lie, I've hit bumps on that road that have made me go, I was going a bit too fast when I hit that bump.
I'm yet to do it.
Lucky.
Yeah.
But there's also points in that road where I'm like,
oh, actually, no, I haven't. The centre fucking lane.
There are also points in that road where I go, I am switching lane, I don't care right now, because I know that the next part of road in this lane is shit compared to this lane.
Yeah.
It's not a good drive.
So when they say it's like, no, you've got to keep left unless overtaking, it's like, fix the fucking road and maybe we will.
Or better yet, and like this is just another crazy thing.
Stop working on the same stretch of road every 3 months.
Well, that's kind of my problem. For people who spend so long working on the roads, you would think the roads would be good.
They're not.
Like, let's face it, how long have I lived in Rocky? I moved here when I was 14, so 14 years-ish.
I moved here in 2000.
Actually, we'll call it 10 because there was the 4 years I lived in Sydney. So I've been living here for 10 years.
I've been here for 16.
14 years ago, my family moved up here, and then for 4 of those 14 years, I was living in Sydney.
Yes.
Since I've moved up here, the road between here and the next closest town has constantly been under work. Like, literally, they finish working on it, then go back to the start and start working on it again. I've never seen that road without roadworks on it. In 14 fucking years.
No, there was 2 days. Well, they took all the signs down and then 2 days later put it back up.
2 whole days.
2 whole days.
2 whole days in 14 years.
I was going on for one of my drives and I saw it and I'm like, oh my god, there's no roadwork signs. Hell yeah. And then 2 days later I did this.
I've had days where there's been no road.
I've
had days where there's been no speed restrictions on there, but all the cones were still set up, and I was like, we're not even pulling these fuckers down now. We're just admitting the fact that it's easier to just keep them up because then we don't have to pay someone to come and put them out tomorrow.
Yeah, it's like, well, and then you got the next
and that is literally what happened, because it was when I was working for the tyre company driving, and I drove there and went to the guys, I drove to Gladstone Day and there was no speed restrictions. The guy that drove it the next day was like, yeah, the speed restrictions are back. And so are the traffic lights. And I was like,
oh god, no.
1 whole day.
Yeah. No, it's like there was one day I had someone I was driving with someone, and I went through an area, and they're like, "Oh, there's roadworks. It's a 40 sign. There was a 40 sign back there." And I'm like, "Yeah, they finished those roadworks a month ago. They still haven't gotten rid of that sign." And it was legitimately they finished it and just didn't take the sign down. Or
my favourite one, the ones, and they've done this so many fucking times, it's not funny. Like, it's seriously not funny because of how dangerous it actually is. They'll put up a 40 sign about 10 metres in front of a 100 sign and then forget to black out the 100 sign. So, legally the speed limit goes 40 back to 100. And you are legally allowed to drive at 100 through that area because the last sign that you saw said 100. And I'm just like, you dumb motherfuckers.
The next thing is, did they forget to black it out and did someone come past and be like, "No, fuck this," and take it down because of how often they're not fucking there?
Oh, yeah, that's like...
Because it'll be like... What was it?
If you're on a road where there's roadworks, you want it to be slightly drizzly because they're going to go like, "Oh, we're not working today," and they'll probably won't put out the speed restrictions.
Well, the next thing is, what was it, Alexander Street?
Ugh.
They started the roadworks, then they went somewhere else. This happens a lot as well. They start, and then they go somewhere else for about a month, but leave all the signs there.
Took them 9 months to do, what, 300 metres of road?
9 months to do 300 metres of road, and at least 1 or 2 of those months, they weren't even there. There was no rain. There was nothing to stop them from doing the work. They just weren't there.
Yeah.
Because they're like, "Oh, we'll start this. Hold on, we got this thing over here."
I fucking hate it. I really hate roadworks, especially here. Especially considering, like, okay, so I said I lived in Sydney for 4 years. I did. And part of when I was living in Sydney, they were putting in a railway line, not a railway, tram line, between the city and where I was living.
Yeah.
Now, that distance included the main highway from the city to where I was living. Like, and when I say main highway, I mean this stretch of road was never quiet. It always had cars, buses, every truck's moving on it because it was a main stretch of highway. So what they did was they planned for that and went, "We're going to be doing this for the next X amount of time." And they changed things so that there would be no obstruction to traffic because of how important that road was. Yes. And they went, "This is going to take us time." But I have seen Rockhampton do things less ambitious that have taken longer.
Yep.
And they've just gone, "Oh, well, you just have to put up with the fact that the traffic is shit."
Shit.
And I'm like, you're fucking joking. Like literally, they dug up about 1 kilometre of road in Sydney, put in tram lines, had it all sealed in about 4 weeks.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
And the parts that were going to take longer, they went, "Okay, this is going to take longer."
Oh, it's like,
see that parkland over there? We've got permission to dig it up and put in a temporary road for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
So what did they do? They dug it up and put in a temporary road so that the cars would travel around the part they were working on.
Yeah, it's like on the Alexander Street one, they changed the traffic
Here
lights.
they go, "We're going to work on one lane. Close all of them."
It's like, close all by the one over there. That's nowhere near us. So they changed the traffic lights on Alexander Street. So that they had more time for the people that were stopping where they were working, or near where they were working. So they did that. They finished the road, and then for about 6 months, they never changed those lights. No one was there. No one would be driving on it. You're just sitting at the traffic lights, like, been here for 5 minutes.
I know you don't go to Macca's at late night like I do. That's every set of traffic lights in Rockhampton. Every set of traffic lights in Rockhampton you can be sitting at, and you'll have cars in front of you, you're here, a car over to your left. Who's got the green light? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And you're sitting there and you're going, "Why aren't these lights changing?" Because no one has the green light. And there are so many sets of traffic lights. The ones at Stockland do it all the fucking time. They just go, "We're on a cycle." And it's like, there's no one there waiting. We're on a cycle.
I don't go to that one late night. Are you talking about the Musgrave Street ones?
I'm talking about the ones on Lakes Creek Road and Musgrave Street, right at the corner of Stockland.
Lakes Creek Road.
Not Lakes Creek,
okay.
Moores Creek.
Moores Creek. That's the one I was thinking of. I've never had an issue with those ones.
Dude, I had an issue literally 2 nights ago where I was the only person at those traffic lights, and I had to wait about a minute and a half for them to go through their cycle before they gave me a green light. I was the only person there.
I think you stop there and they skip cycle. So it's because they normally have.
And
which lane do they normally have going?
It's Musgrave Street, because
Yes.
that's considered the highway.
But it's only one side of it because they don't have both going at the one time. Wait, hang on, I'm thinking the wrong street. Correct. No, I was thinking of the right one. But yes, that's only one side of it.
No, they have them both. They just have the turning lanes. Yeah. And late at night, their turning lanes.
Never noticed it.
Because there are some where if you pull up to them, they'll immediately go, okay, I have someone waiting here.
Yeah.
The ones down the bottom of Richardson Road are really good if you're in the turning lane and it's got a red arrow but it's green and there's no one else. They'll immediately switch the cycle to make you have a green.
Yes.
Mind you, they still go through the whole cycle. They just skip through. They go red, green, skip, green. We're not waiting any time. It's just green for a second.
Yeah.
Now you can go. But there are so many in this town where it's literally like you are sitting there and it's like, who has the green light? Farm Street does it. At the corner of Farm Street,
Yeah.
they do it all the time. No one will have the green light.
That one's an issue, yeah.
Musgrave Street, no one will have the green light. There's just so many where you can be sitting waiting and going, why is no traffic? Oh, because the one lane that has no one waiting at it has the green light. And the light doesn't go, oh, there's no one coming, so away we go.
I'm just glad the
let's
ones
get-
at Bunnings change. It's like after a certain time, and so I think
Well, it's
about
just like,
after 10 and before 6, the moment you stop there, it starts skipping through. But any time through the day, between those times, no.
it's also like,
Nothing.
it's also like the fact that this town's solution to any traffic issue is put in traffic lights.
Yeah.
There was an accident here. People are speeding here. Traffic lights. People don't know the road rules. Traffic lights. And then they go, what we're going to do is we're going to put in traffic lights 20 metres away from another set of traffic lights and never have them in sync.
Oh, I hate it. It's like, hey, they've got the green, sweet, pulling up to it, red. It's like, but they just went green. Why would you stop the flow of traffic?
Yeah,
back
yeah.
here?
And then it's like, you can go now, and as you take off, orange. You're like,
You pricks. And that's not always the case. Sometimes it's literally stops you and it's like, okay, now it's red. This one's still red. And the worst part is, it does that when no one's there.
yeah. And if you're anything like the ones that are just out in front of my house now,
They're the ones I'm talking about.
they're ones that should never have been put in, and what they should have done is concreted over the road and gone, you can't come in this way anymore. We've changed the thing because there's too many accidents because you people are fucking moronic. No, now they've gone, haha, we'll put these ones here. I've seen so many people just ignore those traffic lights.
Oh yeah, they do.
And I'm like, dude, you've got a red light. And he'll go, no, I want to go in there and there's no cars coming. I'm just going anyway. It's like,
It's like, as much as we think they're bullshit,
you have to follow them. They're
we still
traffic
wait.
lights. To ignore them is illegal. But
The only time I've not followed it, and there was one time, and I just did a U-turn. It's because the traffic lights just over, not the traffic lights, the train tracks just over the bridge. So I was going there, they malfunctioned.
Oh.
So they stayed that, and while those lights are flashing, if you want to go, if you're on the road that crosses over the traffic lights, the train
it
tracks,
stays red.
it stays red the entire time. So I sat there for like 10 minutes and like,
Fuck this.
fuck it, U-turn.
Yeah.
So I just did a U and went somewhere else, and
No,
I
but-
noticed it was every single one on that line
was just fucked.
was fucked. But it was only on that straight line. The moment it made the turn, it was on a different, because there was a storm, of course.
Of course.
It was on a different tower.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like-
but
I
anyway,
can't
as I
remember
said,
the
like the
things,
the ones in front of me are just the worst because you'll literally be sitting there and be like, "You're red," and then green for the ones behind the ones that have just gone red. And so people drive and drive and drive. And then because people have no patience and can't fucking remember the road rules, they go, well, I don't want to be stuck at this traffic lights again. So they just go and drive out into the middle of the fucking intersection and sit there. And you go, fucking hell.
Yep.
Where the fuck are the police when they're supposed to be?
Yeah.
Because these traffic lights shouldn't be here.
No.
But the fact that they are, and like I can guarantee you, every fucking day someone breaks the law at them. Where the fuck are the police to be enforcing the law? I know it's not technically their job to fucking sit at those traffic lights and be like writing up tickets, but seriously, someone needs to enforce the law there because it's lawless because of how fucked they've made that area.
Oh yeah, and the worst thing is when I'm going to work at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll be like, that light should never ever go red, because no one in that whole place over there, that set of stores, not a single one of them is open till 8:30.
Yeah.
So at 6 o'clock in the morning, that light should never go red.
And more importantly,
because
why
no
is
one's
it?
there.
And here's a question.
And you'll get someone.
As someone who has to drive past those traffic lights quite often, why is it that the people coming out of the driveway, because that's what they are, they're traffic lights on a driveway,
Yes.
get right of way? Someone pulls up to that driveway, I can guarantee you it's going green for them.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they're in a fucking driveway. When they pull up, it should say, okay, we now have someone waiting. Start the timer.
Yes.
Because the other way that the traffic lights control is a fucking road, not a driveway. Why does the driveway immediately get right of way?
Because
it's a fucking
I
driveway.
hate that so much, because it's like, it doesn't take into the fact that anyone's on the road, just that someone's pulled up in the driveway. However, it's also part of the cycle. Why the fuck are we changing them? Why the hell is it? That's part of the cycle. It will change to that eventually, and it does. It changes when no one's there. It's part of the cycle. But the moment someone pulls up to it, it's like, oh, quickly, rush the cycle, get them out. It's like,
it's a
no.
Fuck. I don't. As I said, when they first went, we're putting traffic lights there, I went, you're fucking joking, and other people in this town went, oh, it's because there's so many accidents along there. And I went, the accidents actually happened further up.
Yes.
Because people go, oh, this is a nice long sweeping corner. I'm going to come round it at speed because I don't have to slow down on it. And they come round the corner and there's backed up traffic and they smash into the back of the backed up traffic.
Yes. That's
cool, people can't drive. Not, let's make it even easier for traffic to back up there, because that's not going to solve anyone's problems.
Not in the slightest.
Fuck, I hate the people who plan this town.
Oh, yeah.
As I said, their solution for every...
Like,
their solution for every... Because, like, fucking... There are... well, Tozette Road's another good one. Down past the school. There's 3 sets of traffic lights in a row. 1 block apart.
2.
One... Oh, is it 2?
It's only 2.
I thought it was 3.
The third one's all the way at the end.
It is technically the next block. Isn't it?
Oh, well,
there's no turn between the
sorry,
traffic lights.
on a technicality, it's the next block, but it is a couple 100 meters away.
But it's like block, block, block. Even though it's a couple 100 meters away, all 3 blocks have traffic lights on them.
Well, yeah, so it's like 1 block, then 50 meters? That's probably over.
It's probably about 3 houses, so probably closer to like
30,
45 meters.
Yeah, so about 45 meters. Another set of traffic lights. No, that should never fucking happen.
It's like a house and a petrol station on one side of the road.
And that's the only reason they fucking do it. One is a main road, so one is sort of a main road. So Elphinstone Street is a kind of mainish road.
It's a thoroughfare.
Yes. The next road?
Thoroughfare.
Fuck, Rocconia Road? Fuck no, it's not. The only reason they've got those lights there is for the fucking fuel station. That's it.
And again, it's just called people should know how to drive.
Yeah.
And should not be pulling out in front of other cars.
That one should not have.
But as I said, the whole I'm indicating so now I can do whatever the fuck I feel like, it's not good.
As seen on that Family
Hey
Guy.
Nick, don't you want to drive?
Which Nick?
Nick.
Oh, he's got his license now.
Does he?
He has his license now. I forgot to mention it. He has his fucking license.
Well done.
He actually drove to my place on Monday.
Oh,
I know.
oh. Wait. Is he on his piece?
Yes.
So he doesn't really.
I
have
mean,
his license. He's got a provisional
drive
license.
by himself.
He's got his provisionals.
He's only going to hold it for a year.
fuck, I forgot about that. Over 26.
24, isn't it? 20?
I thought it was 26.
No, it's not 26.
I thought it was 26 because
It's younger.
It should not be
It might
young.
have actually been 25.
It should not be younger.
It might have actually been 25. Because at 25, well, they see you as that's it, you're an adult. All of your insurances drop in cost, all of that, at 25. So I think they made it that. But, yes.
Pretty sure it's still 26 for car rental. As someone who...
When you had that mark the other day, it said... So the people were driving...
As someone who spent a lot of time...
I could have sworn that box you checked said
sure
over 25.
I'm pretty sure it says over 26.
We're going to have to look it up.
I'll look it up after this. Because the whole thing is that up until that age, they insurance companies still consider you a stupid fucking child who's more than likely going to do something stupid.
Even at 25, they drop all your insurance costs.
Chris, remember how I said I only watch 4 TV shows?
Yes.
And 2 of them are Top Gear?
Yeah, they're always idiots.
Yeah. And remember how Jeremy Clarkson's always saying his age?
Yes. He's very much
54, and he's always an idiot.
Wait, wasn't in the Clarkson Farm? He was 60.
That might have been the newest one.
I think in the newest one.
Because remember,
no, it was when he was driving the fucking Bentley.
Was it?
Pretty sure around when he was driving.
Oh
the
no,
Bentley,
yeah, because remember in the last season of the Grand Tour, he's got the boat trailer and he goes, "I'm 57."
Yeah,
that would have been a couple years before Clarkson's farm.
Yeah, so he's
about 60. He's about 60.
Walking effectively on his own farm,
smashing
doing burnouts.
Yes.
I was like, and the fuck are you wrecking that?
Yes, but as
Especially
I
when
said,
he's going to be
just because you've hit the age of 25 or 26 or whatever the fuck it is, does not mean that you are now responsible and you're less likely to do stupid shit.
No. It's like,
No.
I only do shit that I know I can do.
Well, it's kind of like I said to you the other night. I am practicing driving less the way I drive
I'm not.
for when we go to the snow, because I will be in an unfamiliar car with a bunch of other people. So instead of taking a corner at 100, I'm going to actually...
See, my thing is...
I'm trying to condition myself to take it a bit slower.
My thing is, I don't have to do that. Because the moment I get into a new car, I turn it back. I just unconsciously change the way I drive because I'm not in my car.
I'm just a good driver.
What's that?
I'm just a good driver, but...
I'm a good driver.
No, but
I just do stuff in my car that I don't do in anyone else's car.
as I said, I'm just making a conscious effort because I'm no, this is not as I said, this is not a 80 corner. This isn't even a corner. It's just a bend in the road.
No, fuck it.
And I'm okay, well, maybe when we go to the snow, I'll have to pay a little bit more attention to those because road conditions and stuff.
Well, and it's a car that you've never driven before.
And it's a fucking people mover, so it's not exactly the most responsive thing in the world.
They're fucking horrid.
But yeah, so yeah, I looked into the other costs for our snow trip as well, so I got some extra news for you there. It's not bad.
Okay, that's good.
I fucking remember I said because it's a national park that it has a fee to entry.
Yes.
It's $20 a day.
Oh, fucking.
So it's literally $100 the entire time we're there.
That's good.
And I was just I know it's fucking low as shit, but I was just
That's more than $100.
Yeah, it's
7 days, it's 140.
Yeah, I guess we'll be leaving. Technically, we'd... yeah. It's funny because once we're there, we won't be driving. So we won't really need the driving around a national park permission. But yes.
True.
No, we do need it. So yeah, it works out fuck all.
And is the cost only per car or is it per person?
Per car.
Fuck yeah.
Which is, again, one of the reasons I was no.
Why are they not doing that dick move where it's per person?
No, it's per car because it's it's a car fee for driving around national parks. But that's another reason why I'm yeah, we could take 2 cars, but 1 car's smarter. Let's rent a big car that we can all fit in and do it 1 car. Because it's as I said, fuel costs, all the other paid costs that we need to pay for. The other thing I got to look up now is if we actually need, because it suggests that when I say suggest, it kind of said like between this date and this date, all cars are expected to carry snow tires.
Yes.
For these certain areas, and I was like, "Ooh, are we actually going into that area?"
Oh, we're gonna need the snow tires.
Snow chains, sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I figured you meant chains, but I just kept going with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we did because last time I was there, we didn't have snow chains.
Okay.
Because remember, Threadbow's on the main road.
Yes. And
whereas the places it was talking about were like Perisher, which is slightly up higher in the mountains.
So it's in areas.
And it's like I'm like,
whereas in Threadbow, is it?
Yeah, I'm like Threadbow is the main road, so they try and keep it clean. Like they said, we suggest you all have things in times of high snow. I'm like, that's just logical. Yes. But the other thing is, you're not actually supposed to drive with snow chains on tarmac.
Yes.
Because it'll rip the fucking shit out of your tires.
Yes, it will.
So that's why I'm like, I don't think we need them because we are definitely not leaving tarmac.
No.
So.
If we do, we've probably crashed.
Yeah, at that point we won't have to worry about fucking snow chains because we'll be on our fucking roof. Yes. If there's one thing I remember about driving into that is like, oh look, there's just a drop off and at the bottom there's water. Excellent. Yeah. No, so I'm so looking forward to the snow trip.
That's it.
And the fact that now everyone has the dates and Jordan and Rhea are on board.
I don't actually know if he's talked to Rhea.
Isn't that who he was texting when I was giving him all the information?
Was he texting her about it? I don't know.
He was asking me the questions and then typing it into his phone.
He probably was.
So I kind of hope he was sending it to her. Otherwise, he may have just been taking notes for himself.
Yeah, he could have just been taking notes.
Let's be honest. Okay,
the entire time, I'm only ever going to be working with rough cost.
Yeah. You live with them, right? Like you live with them. Would she be like, no, I don't want to go to the snow?
Because it's us? No. I don't think she'll say no because she's got no problems with me.
Well, none that you know of.
Well, yes, true.
She might have some. She's just too polite to bring it up because she lived together.
Well, see, the thing is,
Could you imagine? I fucking hate that Kris guy, but he lives downstairs.
I don't think I've got an issue because, maybe the TV at night. That's about it.
Oh, you're such a dick.
No, I tend to get a message if it's too loud.
Oh, you're such a dick.
I turn it down.
Oh, you're such a dick.
I pay attention to when they go to bed and then I turn it down before.
Oh, you're such a dick.
Dick move. Me turning my TV down and being polite for them. I'm a dick.
Just a dick because you have a soundbar in the first place.
What? It's not always loud.
Nailed it.
No.
Nailed it.
That doesn't sound right.
Let me check. No, that's right.
What's wrong with a fucking soundbar?
Everything. Pretentious jackass. You're like the rest of us and just get headphones. With a really long cable.
No. See, what I like is when I'm watching a movie, I can feel the vibration because the subwoofer is on the floor.
Sounds like a dick to me. I was fucking watching.
It helps out when we're having a party because we just turn my music on and I open my door.
Yeah, but your music is terrible. So
okay,
does it really help?
Sorry, let's rephrase that. We turn music on. I generally leave it to Jordan.
We turn on my music, so everyone leaves. Did you?
Oh fuck!
So I was watching something today because I fucking found it hilarious. Because you know how like flip phones are back and like iPhones released a new flip phone, which Samsung have released a new flip phone, which is pretty much just this, but it folds in half. And I'm like, that's a terrible idea because like seriously, how long is it going to take until people start breaking their screens?
Because it creates a weak point, yeah.
And then they just don't work because like
probably not wrong.
Think about like the old flip phones, right? And their screens didn't break unless you were like, oh, whoops.
So like that time that I think we went to the caves for outdoor rec.
Yep, that happens.
And Nick had his phone in his pocket.
And you just kicked him in the dick?
No. There was a point where they're like, hey, you can squeeze through here, and then I started going through it. I'm like, I can't fit through here.
It's because you were fat.
I did have some extra weight on me. I did.
Just admit it and we can move on.
Someone bigger than me squeezed through though.
It's because he was so squishy.
He was squishy. However, I had some extra weight on me, but it wasn't all the extra weight. It was more so, no, if I go through here, I feel like I'm actually going to break a rib. Back the fuck out.
You're not big boned, you're just fat.
And so was big boned. I just felt like I was going to break a rib. So I backed off. But Nick went through, and you know how some of them had a little screen on the outside of it as well, so you can just look at the time without having to open it? Yeah, a rock hit that.
Yeah.
So he gets out and he's like, my little screen's broken. Opens it, the rest is fine. And the next day he comes in, and because the screen was broken, he's like, so I just held a flame up against it. Now the phone doesn't work.
Wow. No, but like seriously, I look at the new phones and I just go like,
day absolutely fucking destroying that phone.
God, that's stupid. No, but I look at the new flip phone. I look at the new smart flip phones and I just go, they're just asking to be broken. Like they really are. Someone's going to try and flip it, and there's going to be something in it, and it's going to shatter the screen. Someone's going to flip it out, and it's going to shatter the screen.
Like
long-term use of the bending.
Like with Mum with her laptop, where there was a book in there, she closed it. It's like, fucking idiot.
Someone's going to, I don't know, someone's going to be using their phone a lot, and they're going to find out that flip part of the screen dies eventually, like, you know, really quickly. I guess Apple and Samsung are trying to move us onto a 2-year cycle for our phones, but like, it's just a terrible idea.
But then you get people like us, it's like, no, I'll keep the phone for 4 years.
But here is the other part of that, because they were talking about, you know, with the flip phones coming back, what's old is new, and we're in the cycle of what's desirable again, because, you know, how everyone back when phones were first a thing, everyone wanted a flip phone.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted fucking a Motorola Razr.
I don't think I had a Razr, but I did have a Motorola.
Yeah, but those Motorola Razrs that were like this thin, and you like flick it out, and it was like, look how thin it is. And back when that was what mattered, how thin your phone was.
It's like, look how small phones are getting. It's like we've got so much and they're small, and it's like literally grabbed one of the Samsung phones I had.
Yeah.
It's like fucking the size of my palm. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, because remember there was.
Because I grabbed mine. It's like. The size of my hand.
Yeah, but remember there was the whole thing of like phones were getting smaller, and then it was like phones are getting bigger, and now it's like there was that point where people were literally walking around with phones the size of fucking tablets,
holding it up to their fucking ear with their hands like that.
Yeah, and I was like, that's stupid. But so they were talking about how what's old is new, and they're like, and look at all these celebrities going back to like wired headphones. And I was like, that's just because wired headphones are actually superior. It's like, if you can get away, if the speaking device is less than the length of the cable away from your head, wired is better. If you have to go wireless, you want something big and chunky, because you do not want AirPods. Because literally, my little sister showed me a fucking thing this morning when we were leaving the gym of one of her friends dropping his AirPod into a sink and into a fucking drain on the street. And she went, he's going to have to get that back. And I just went, it's fucking gone. She went, no, you can get it back. I'm like,
it's gone.
I'm just like, it's not even worth trying to get it back. I'm like, you go, okay, I'm not buying AirPods again. Because that's the issue with fucking these new ones that we've got where it's like, yeah, but look how small they are. You can barely see I'm wearing them. It's like, yeah, okay, now shake your head slightly vigorously.
Well, then the next thing
I've lost them both.
You try to talk to someone, or like, I get customers in the store.
AirPods suck.
And they've just got AirPods in their ears, and you come up from behind them, you can't fucking see them, and then you start talking to them, and they just like ignore you, and it's like, the headphones in. That's why.
I just
fuck off.
Like I
just
go
mine, I just fucking put them on.
I just go like, I really think they suck, and the fact that when you're as someone I was watching on YouTube said years ago, when you're walking on the street, one of them's inevitably just going to pop out and disappear forever. Yeah. And like, I'm just like, yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when.
So I didn't mind, like, you can get your earbuds that have a cord if you're not big on.
I've got those
having good sound.
I've got those for workouts. Like, I've got the little ones that have they're connected to each other by cord, and you just throw that cord down the back of your shirt, and then they loop around your ears, so they like kind of use your ears to hold them in.
Yeah, and they're fine. I think they're fine because they're actually hooking to something. Yes, they get loose and they might pop out of your ear, but it hangs off your ear.
Yeah, well, that's why I have them for working out, because I'm like, yeah, these things aren't gonna fucking just pop out and disappear. Or worse, pop out and get crushed by a heavy weight.
Yes. Whereas, as I said, I've got my headphones.
Yep.
Which they are the bulky ones that sit over your ears.
These
Not
are my
quite
ones.
as big as those ones.
Although they're fake leather starting to deteriorate at the top.
Mine are wireless though, but they still put out really good sound.
Oh, dude, I just love those. So that was a good investment.
Oh, yeah.
And even though they're deteriorating at the top, I'm like, oh, I fucking care because the sound quality's still nice.
Oh, yeah. That's it. As long as you got good sound.
Although my only issue with wired is that, and I don't know why, every time I take them off, I can guarantee you they're wrapped around the arm of a chair. So when I turn my chair to go stand up and grab something, they go and hit the ground. And I'm just like,
yep.
Fuck you.
It's fucking annoying. Or you've forgotten, like, you've put your controller down, you're there, and you've got it on. So, hey, I'm going to go do something. You just stand up. Knowing that you're wearing that, but forgetting it's connected to your controller, and then your controller goes flying.
But no, I do prefer wired. Just because I prefer wired everything. Except controllers. Controllers should be wireless. Mouses and keyboards should be wired.
Yeah.
Well, but I can't use it on my laptop when I'm, 10 meters away. Then you shouldn't be using your laptop.
No. That's pretty much how it is.
Yeah. Everything should be wired. Except controllers. Controllers
but
can be wireless.
Yeah, it's like you can't use your laptop when you're ages away. Then why the fuck don't you get a longer HDMI cable? Because that's probably what you're connecting it with. Get a longer cable.
Or better yet, get a computer.
That too.
They're like a laptop, only better.
I do agree.
Yep. And then you can have 3 screens like me.
Yes. I could have 3 screens.
You could. But would it be like me?
Not exactly.
No.
But I could have 3 screens.
No.
I mean, technically, I can use that to do a similar setup.
But the heat, Kris, the heat.
Oh yeah, I'm well aware of the heat.
As I said, my tower has like
Cooling for days.
cooling for days.
There's a lot of cooling in there.
I'm pretty sure there's like 6 or 7 fans in there.
I have 2.
Yeah, exactly. That's the difference.
Yep.
I have 6 or 7 fans and a block about this by this, pretty much full of air. It's like he has 2 fans and a block about this by this,
With
and
almost
no air.
Yeah.
And it's like, trust me, I fucking, some days I sit there and I go, ooh, it's a bit toasty. I should put on the air conditioner so that the air running through there is at least cool.
Yes.
And then Kris goes, yeah, I had to sit in the air conditioner for my computer to even want to function.
It depends on no, it'll still function. It's just it gets to the point where I'm like, I don't really want it sitting at 95 for a long time. I know it can. You can start wearing it at about 98, but it's like I don't want it sitting at 95.
Kris was sitting there and went, and he went, I'm going to put my laptop on the table. Oh, it burned through the table.
Oh, definitely. If you're playing, if you play Bigfoot, 100%, it'll hit 98.
It's such a poorly optimized game.
No. Incorrect. Phasmo is poorly optimized. Bigfoot, something fucking else. It's fucked.
Bigfoot's actually just a fucking computer wrecker. The
Yes,
person who programmed it was like, I'm fairly sure I can melt people's PCs with this.
Yes, because it's like 100% with Phasmo. I can have multiple. I can have like 5-6 things open in the background and have absolutely no issues. It might hit 91 at the highest. It's like, that's not bad. It tends to sit about 86, which again is fine for a game, but Bigfoot, just Bigfoot, nothing else, will hit 98.
Dude, I just remembered, I am super looking forward to Kerbal Space Program 2. I saw that it's coming out, and I'm just like, hey, it's in early access.
I'm trying to think what that is.
Kerbal Space Program?
Yeah.
It's a game where you build rocket ships and send them into space.
Oh.
Yeah, I have the original. I play the fuck out of that game because it's so fun, because
I
I
don't think I've
mainly
ever
just
played it.
explode everything.
I'd say I don't think I've
I'm
ever played it.
really terrible at making spaceships and planes, really good at making surface-to-surface missiles.
That's pretty good.
I call them guided missiles, but really they're kamikazes. No, no, that's I love, and I saw like the other day when I was buying stuff on Steam, I was just like, oh, Kerbal Space Program 2. Oh,
I've never played it. I
dude,
actually haven't heard of it.
I am super excited about it. I was trying to think of a game that I was trying to think of, and I'm like, it's kind of like Raft. I'm like, a game that's kind of like Raft.
What?
I might have been thinking of Ark, but Ark isn't really like Raft in other than the survival element. Like, don't get me wrong, I do enjoy playing games like Conan and Ark and like games where it's like build, survive, conquer.
I'm okay with Ark. I hate the community.
Oh yeah, the community in most games is fucking trash, especially in games where it's like you can claim land. It's like fuck, because Ark was one of those games. Me and my friends were playing it, and it was like we were looking for a place to claim, and people just put stones in the middle of nowhere, like stone poles,
so you couldn't do anything.
And claim, like they'll just claim miles with stone poles, and we're just like, fuck. And then
whereas in Ark,
no, that was Ark. That was Ark.
Yeah. So in everything I joined, we would get in. And then with half an hour, we'd get a guy who has got everything he needed to make the potion, to reset all of his stats so that it all goes into speed and strength.
Alright.
So it's like, hey guys, I can see a dude way off in the distance. If I really squint, I think he might be running in this direction. And I've looked away by this point. And it's like, so I guess we're just going to watch out for it. Just like, maybe let's all get inside. So I start to head inside and I look back and it's like, oh, has he gotten very far? And I turn and he's here, hitting me in the fucking face. One hit, flak armor, dead. I'm like, and they would do that. And just about every server I got onto, they did something similar so that you would get off the server.
Oh, yeah.
So that you would not play on the server anymore. So it's like, oh, cool, so I can't play any servers because they're all cunts.
Yeah, generally I like to just set up a server for me and my friends to play on because I prefer PvE instead of PvP.
Yes, so do I. But the only downside to the server is if you get the wrong people, they put in the stats of like 100 times experience gained. It's like,
So Darcy said.
I think I got into one game of Ark and it was like 1,000 times.
Oh, fuck.
So I was in there for about 30 seconds, max level. I'm like, I don't know what I need to put these in. That is something you do as you go, so that it's like, actually I want a little bit more speed. Actually I want a little bit more of this. But because that was all boosted as well, 2 levels into speed was like, oh, that's an ideal speed. But after playing on normally, I'm like, I think I had it set to like 8. I think I had it set to like 25 before, and that was a good speed, so I'll set it to 25. You do that, and then all of a sudden, fuck, I'm all the way over there because, oh, that's right, they boosted that too.
Yeah, no, that's why I generally do the setting up. But me and my friends were playing Ark, and we were in a server with like just randoms, and we couldn't find a place to build until we did, and the place we found to build was like on this lake. And it turns out we built in a really good spot because on the lake was like with giant beavers that made a material that's really important for late game farming. And because we built there, we just had access to it all the time. So we always seeing people like come over to like trying to look at stuff, and we're like, we've already scavenged everything clean, motherfucker. Yeah. We're like, but we will trade with you.
Yes. And that's the ideal way to play that game. We will trade with you. 100%, we will. And it's like, what's that? You're on a server over in Scorched Earth. Give us a wyvern. We'll give you this. Give us a wyvern.
Yep. But so yeah, like I enjoy those games, but like when it comes to like good survival games, I think things like Raft's a good one because there's no dickery.
No. Except from us.
Although
there's a bit from us.
There is something that I've been looking at, and I can't remember if I ever sent it to you. I think because I own it on Steam, you might own it on Steam. 7 Days to Die.
Oh, I've had that for fucking ages.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I sent it to you like ages ago, like almost 3 years.
Was it gifted or did I buy it?
I'm pretty sure I bought 3 copies or something like that, or 2 copies, and I sent you one like 4 years ago because I was going to play it back then.
We never fucking played it.
Yeah, we haven't. So that is something that we could work on. That being said, yes. And with a new game idea that we should look into, and the fact that when Kris just read out that time code, it was 1.5 hours.
Yes.
We
can take 10 minutes off that.
Even with the fuckery at the start.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We're leaving some of that in.
I think that we've hit the necessary time for our fucking shit talk. So thank you for joining us. As always, I've been Darcy. He's been Kris. This was mainly about how we hate roads.
It really is.
There's a lot of rants in tonight's episode, but
we rant in a lot of ours.
It is a platform for me to talk about shit I hate.
And we do indeed.
And games that I'm playing.
And it helps that we hate the same shit because it just keeps going.
It's the one redeeming fact about you. We'll catch you next time. See ya. Just gonna pop my chocolate milk.
You are?
So I'm gonna pop my chocolate milk.
Ooh.
Dude, you remember these things, right? And like, fucking the day you found out this thing existed, you were like, fuck, I can just stab a straw through there.
I've always known about it.
Dude, I like found out about it in like year 1. Right? And then from year 1, I have always struggled to get a fucking straw in there. Because you peel it up so that you've got the fucking hole revealed and then it just like rips a giant fucking hole in the side.
I've never had that issue.
I have always had that issue. That straw hole is redundant.
Oh yeah, no one.
And you're just like, I'm going to use the straw hole, and you rip it up and you go.
When I was younger, I used it, but then I got to a certain point and I never fucking touched it again.
And I was like, I'm going to use the straw hole, and then the straw bends, and you go, it's going to be one of those days, eh? So you like stab your fucking finger in there.
It's like the whole puddle thing. You're just like, going back to bed.
I would. I fucking go. But yeah, as I said, like, back in year 1, that's when we started fucking around with that, because it was like, that's a cool way to drink your milk. You drink it like, yeah, instead of just being like a fucking animal and being like,
and you're down in 2 goes.
Yeah. But you're like, I'll put my straw in it. But like, yeah, fucking like 1 out of every 100, the straw just goes bloop, and you're like, yes. Others it's like, didn't work, and the straw bends, or it's like, poof, and it's just like, milk comes flying everywhere, and you're just like, fuck.
Again, can't say I've had the issue. I've had the issue where it didn't want to open up the top.
Oh fuck, open. I hate when that happens.
That's the point where I literally open the straw hole and just start drinking out of the straw
I
hole.
have had, I've done that as well. I've had the worst one though. I don't remember who did it, but I was like, I was working in a cafe and like someone had bought one of these and they're like, I can't open it. And they're like, see how it says open?
Yeah.
Open other side. It's not opening. And then fuck this side, and I was just like, or I've had the ones where you've like go to open it and it hasn't, like, for some reason it doesn't want to open right, and you like pull it back, push it, and then it's just like, instead of, like just popping out like it's supposed to, it's just like, fuck you. And you're just like, I'm fucking going with my fingers.
Yeah, I've had times where I swear that the label's on the wrong side.
Oh fuck yes.
Because it doesn't do
See?
that.
Like that. That is how that's classic. But like I've had times where you do that and it just goes, no.
Yeah, because I think the label it was done the wrong side, so it's literally this side. Just fuck. It's actually that side. I said they're the times where I'm just like, fuck it, straw hole it is. And then I get people asking me, why you don't have a straw? Why are you using that? I'm like, look at this shit.
Look at it.
It's been torn 3 ways from Sunday, and it's still
Look at it.
working.
Let's get started, shall we?